Hi, welcome to session 2 of Bounty of the Week, No Disintegrations, a series that I am running on the Open Hearth for the month of May. This is using Bounty of the Week, which is a reskin slash hack of my Monster of the Week by Michael Sands, which we have incorporated some of the team playbook stuff from the brilliant Codex of Worlds, probably one of my favorite expansions to an RPG game that I've ever played with. And Monster of the Week, Bounty of the Week is probably one of my favorite reskins of any game that I've played. But that is the nature of Star Wars Saturdays, which we're playing on a Sunday because that's just how it works. They're still Saturday morning cartoons if you watch them on a Sunday. And we are playing on the Open Hearth. We are using all of the safety tools that are included there, the X card, lines and veils, and the open table. And following the code of conduct in the Open Hearth. Last week, we had a very, very short session recorded because we spent most of the time doing character creation, team creation, and world building, which included my favorite part of all of this, which is a team of rival bounty hunters, which is easily my favorite part. Team operates out of the Rock, a orbital platform somewhere in the Outer Rim. Their guildmaster is a Bothan, I think, named Zuto. Is that correct? A Bothan?
Not a Bothan. Zuto is an Ithorian offshoot.
A Thorian offshoot.
Yeah, basically. I thought I had thrown a picture of them. Yeah. So sorry. I should have written, and I will write what species they are.
I mean,
I want to say it's like
an
an Ortolan, but or a Tegan. Ottegan, and I'll put that in the keeper.
Well, we'd get all of the people in the comments telling us about how dare we call this an Itorian when they're not really an Itorian. Wikipedia would melt down. But yeah, and he is a bounty hunter from a previous series who has retired and become the guildmaster of this section. He has a reputation for being charitable and merciful, with a good reputation and a long career. That leads a lot of people to think they can take advantage of him and the guild house because they are too honorable for this business. The guild house is located in the sort of fossilized remains of an exogorth that occupies the tunnels inside the rock that has been converted through various ceilings and containers that have been shipped down there and stuff like that. My impression is that it's probably like cheap real estate on the rock because it was just too much effort to get the exogorth body out of there, so they just turned it into a place where they could shove the nascent guild that's come up here. The team chose as their XP style Hearts of Gold. Did they put their principles over payment? So I am going to try and put some of those choices in front of you as much as possible. Because if I don't give you opportunities to put your principles over payment, then you'll probably just go for payment every time, right? Yeah. And their enemies are this team of rival hunters who are, well, you know what? I'm going to ask, we're not going to bother with the ones that there, but what I'm going to ask is I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask each of you to introduce your characters quickly. And then I'm going to ask you to introduce your nemesis from the rival hunters team. So I will always do this in character keeper order because that does not change when people turn off their cameras, which is a nightmare. I try to do it in Zoom order. And we'll start off with Rich's character.
Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. I am playing Matthias Killian, who also uses the he, him pronouns. He's a human. I know, it's a Star Wars game. We're not all playing a bunch of aliens. It's weird. I get it. He is the playbook, the scoundrel, which is a very Star Warsy phrase for the criminal from Monster of the Week, which means that he has a history. He grew up as a grifter, and he has a history with a few ne'er-do-wells. Part of his heat is that a criminal who is a cyborg named Osaka, he once pissed her off, and she'll do whatever she can to destroy me. And then there is an NRI agent named Garrick who has made it a personal goal to put me away. Matthias grew up on Tatooine, and that is where he was best buds, along with a couple of others. Like there was Thick as Thieves, best buds with Quell Shard, who is a close combat specialist who uses electro nets and spears. And yeah, Matthias kind of swindled her hardcore and feels bad about it, but she's not the forgiving type.
Who would have thought that the con man would have a list of enemies longer than everybody else on the? Everybody else has got one enemy. You've got three. That's off the bat.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Okay, Han. And Marty, are you available? I think Marty has stepped away due to the demands of a small child. So I will go to Brian.
Yeah, Brian, he, him, playing Arch Price, he, him. Arch is the trainee. He was, finding himself stuck in a boring humdrum job in life, and ran away to join the equivalent of a circus in Star Wars, which is a group of bounty hunters. And his rival is a young Chiss named Gilly Lowry, who Arch stole her spot as a trainee bounty hunter, and so she's got it out for him, and she is reckless, likes big explosions, and doesn't really care about collateral damage.
Yes, that's been bullying the rock. Very crowded city. And next up, we will return to Marty.
Yeah, so I'm playing Dash Tyler, and he was the son of a Republican senator, and in the Senate, and his brother got killed, and that's why he decided to go bounty hunting only in the codes of the principles that stand by the ones we play.
Yes. And I think Dash has got his own complications in real life for this one.
Yeah, well,
yeah. We will see how well that goes.
You will go fine. Don't worry.
No. Yeah. Cool. I would like to ask a little bit, but I'm going to go in reverse order this time. Your drives. So your drive, Marty, is for Dash. Is to revenge your brother's death. So, do you think that is bringing down Luca in particular?
He was his brother's killer. Because Luca was the guy who killed his brother and went anonymate. And then when you know Luca is only one, you can only find one Luca, like Luca Brasi, you know?
Yeah.
So see, yes, he is his brother's killer.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that's a good one. I think maybe like his revenge, maybe bringing down the Luca family, like the whole empire, like their whole thing, like your family was brought down.
They would sleep with the Jawas instead of the fishes.
Nice, yeah. And Arch, yours is to make enough to retire in luxury.
Yep. Just here to make a living, so I don't have to go back to that boring life I used to lead. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty succinct one. I like it. And Matthias has a very noble one, which is pay for my mother's freedom from an imperial penal colony.
There you go.
Yeah. Good, because I think every time we play this, we usually have to refine a bunch of the drives, but I think they're pretty sound this time, pretty solid.
I would agree. The drives in the past have been almost like burning wheel beliefs, so these are good.
Yeah. Matt, if you could just mute yourself. I think you double muted them. Yeah, cool. Cool. Well, let's do some downtime. Last session, you successfully retrieved a stolen relic from a shapeshifter. I can never remember the name of the shapeshifter species because they are called shapeshifters in my head. But yeah,
Clawdite.
Clawdite, yeah.
I know because I used one as an NPC in a game I ran last night. So
yeah, and yeah, you successfully managed to have a pretty hectic firefight in a crowded public space. Was perhaps the opposite of putting your principles over payment, I think, at that point, although that was mainly because the plan didn't go off without a hitch. And your rival bounty hunter was interrupted, but you did retrieve the relic, and you're in the good books of your allies, the New Republic Rangers, who I think maybe helped pass you this opportunity in a quiet period on the rock where there are not much bounties. Let me move the NPCs and bounty board a little bit further up. Yeah, your guildmaster Zuto the Otagan is saying, it is sparse, it is derelict out there. There are so few bounties this time stretch. You will have to travel at least 60, 70 parsecs to get to the nearest thing. I have nothing for you, but luckily your friends the Rangers have come through with a most interesting offer of a hunt offered by a Republic surveyor on the planet Hoth. I know that many of you think yourselves above hunting beasts, but remember that those that you normally hunt are usually no better than beasts themselves. So this should be not much of a challenge for you. The beast known as Shaco, a great wampa, legendary in the sector, has been seen across many attacks over the years, and they believe that he is still out there preying upon the Republic survey team currently on Hoth, as well as a private corporation venture on the planet. They will be waiting for you when you make your way there, but I recommend stocking on supplies before you enter Hoth, for it is a frigid place. But we will then enter downtime, and I will go in character keep order. So, Rich, is there anything you'd like to do in downtime? You haven't got many creds?
I do not. Not many options available to me. The good news is I'm double checking. Yeah, I only took one harm. That's fine. That shakes off, right? If I remember correctly.
Waterhouse shakes off, yeah. Waterhouse shakes off entirely.
Ah, sweet. That I am in good shape. And I do not need to worry about healing. I did not expend any of my gear, so I am going to. Boy, this is dangerous, but I'm doing it. Matthias would. I am gonna chase a dream. Oh, again, I spend. Oh, is one per, or can I do both? I can spend both my creds to chase a dream and try to take a drive track box.
Yeah, why not? I don't see why you couldn't just spend all your creds on your drive boxes.
All of the drive boxes.
Yeah. I did add a space for a team pool if you wanted to add everyone who wanted to put creds into, improving your team assets or buying. Because I don't think we really spoke about it, but I reckon that you can spend team pool on team XP as well. Otherwise, you may never. Because I think that the rules are that you get team XP whenever you hit your trigger, and also whenever you roll a miss on a team move. The team move you have chosen is just augments your investigator quarry.
So you'd never be rolling for it, meaning, yeah, that makes sense.
Or we take it every investigator move, which I feel kind of undermines it slightly by making it a bit too broad to say that. But yeah. So Matthias puts in some funds, probably you're making some connections, do you think?
I think making connections, trying to find the right Imperial, maybe the right planet. He only knows from rumor. What he had last heard was Narkina 5, but he doesn't even know where that is.
You meet a Bothan, cyberpunk Bothan with a cyber deck, like taps away, and he brings up a little like hologram of the table on the little table in front of you, and it portrays like a bunch of things. It says, An Arcana 5, well, there's an Arcana 7 and an Arcana 4, but I see no record of an Arcana 5 or a 6. It looks as though something's been wiped from the Imperial tables. This will require much more heavy slicing.
I look at him like, just so you know, I pulled that exact same thing on someone before. So, you know,
I'm a friend. You take me for a canon. Many Bothans died to bring this information. The Bothan Spynet was built on the blood of other Bothans, and you insult their deaths by suggesting that we would have a deal in trickery.
Okay, but I'm going to double check this info.
Who
If
with?
it turns out that it's solid, then I'll come back.
You are welcome to take your business elsewhere.
Well, all you've told me is there's no planet that I had heard she's at. So what are you telling me that's any good?
I'm telling you that the Imperial records appear to have been manipulated by someone with access. I am telling you that if you wish to find your mother, then I will perhaps have to look in other areas than the official Imperial records.
Okay.
If only, maybe perhaps if you had, I don't know, friends in NRI, you could find something.
Oh, I know somebody I know in NRI. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Lucky me.
Yes, good luck. And he brings up the Star Wars equivalent of Angry Birds or Candy Crush. Okay. Marty, do you have anything that you would like to do with your 2 creds?
I would like to find info about where Luca is.
Yeah. How many creds would you like to spend? 2 or 1? 2. Okay. Well, if you'd like to remove the creds from your sheet and tick off 2 boxes on your drive track, I think again it's that same Bothan slicer. Looks up from his game of Candy Crush, and he says, "It's a busy day today." Yes. Let's see. Luca, the family are Coruscanti nobility. I see. Well, they have holdings all across the core worlds. They even managed to claim insurance policy on Alderaan. It's almost like they had a tip-off of some kind before it went up, before the rebellion destroyed it, or at least that's what I heard.
So you think going to Alderaan would be a good source of information?
No, there is literally nothing left in Alderaan. It's the asteroid field. But I think that
I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, right. Yeah, but near Alderaan, I was thinking.
Well, tracing the Alderaan diaspora's money, I think looks like this Luca has hidden lots of his money among the refugees, the various settlements and colonies, trying to launder their reputation as Imperial collaborators, I think, to be, humanitarians. I wouldn't be surprised if they even donated money to that princess of the Republic.
Oh, they're washing their money.
Yes, exactly. I will look into this further for you, my friend.
Thank you very much, and I really trust you, just to say
that. Rich, I know that you have a million pictures of everything. If you'd like to put this Bothan slicer who didn't exist until 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, this Bothan slicer, I'll find one.
Yeah. And Arch, how about you? You can use your creds to buy more gear. I don't think anyone took more than 1 harm last session, which heals up over 1. You heal 1 harm every session, basically. But yeah, you could buy more gear with 2 credits. You could invest in your drives. Or you could just give yourself XP.
I'll go shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
buy.
I could use some armor.
Yeah. We need to put a merchant on this ship on this, don't we, as well?
I mean, Arch needs a cool leather jacket.
Okay, well, the merchant is let me quickly Google Jawa names because I know what his clan name is, but I need to find out what his first name is. The first name of this Jawa is, come on, fancy name, man. Res Petiga is a merchant, a scavenger really on the rock who takes things on incoming vessels and other stuff. And if you need it, then Res Petiga certainly has it. If you had it, then Res Petiga might have it as well because they touch on your ship while you weren't looking. We'll sell it back to you at just half the credits you paid for it in the first place, which is a deal from her point of view. So yeah, Res Petiga in I think like their shop is a like grounded freighter that's sort of like hard docked to the station. And it's been completely it's continuously in a state of junk. It's been stripped of everything. There are new bits put in. Like every time they have to sort of excuse where they got these new engines from, it's because, well, we're just working on the ship, of course. There's a completely new set of equipment in there the next day. Things move fast. And in typical banter, they spit out Jawa style. They spit out, "Whoa, what that? What was it?" And pull open one of the storage lockers, and there's just an array of battered blasters. There's an ugly looking vibro blade in there. There's a stormtrooper helmet with like a huge hole going through the middle of it. And she's like, holding it at you, and like this armor, great armor, knocks it on the hole. It caves in a bit, and she goes and pushes it back out again. There's some Clone War armor in there. There's even she claims to have a lightsaber. But yeah, what kind of gear are you looking to buy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a full-fledged bounty hunter now. But I'm not looking the part. I need something that'll look good while giving me a little protection.
Okay. That would be a 1-on-1 armor, I would say. If it looks good, because 2 armor is usually quite bulky, like visible. 1 armor is more like, a stylish jacket, speeder bike armor, stab-proof vest, that kind of thing. Let me see. I think I did put some. Need to put a header for this. Spending creds. There we go. Creds. Spending creds. Multiple creds. Armor. It's 2. If it comes with a negative tag as well as the armor. So it could be, let's see, what would be a good negative tag for? Well, what do we think this? What kind of armor do you want Arch to be wearing? Do you think? Could be Imperial armor, like light Imperial. It could be like light scout armor, and then you could be mistake. You could, the dangers would be that like people might mistake you for in the Empire, or it could be like maybe a Gordian Death Gang armor. People might mistake you for like a really one of the worst of the worst, but you think you look pretty badass in it.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So put Death Gang armor in your gear, and I want the tag Notorious attached to that. That will cost you 2 credits. It's still like Res Petiga insists that this is stylish red paint to make it look better. You're pretty sure it's blood. It doesn't seem to be coming out at any point. But Res Petiga has to go into the character keeper now with a reminder to myself for be the merchant, Jawa merchant, beef entrepreneur. There we go. And again, Rich, I hold no qualms about you shoving in whatever image you want to use there. A man who must have more Star Wars images than I do on a Pinterest board. Yeah. So that is all your money spent. As you go down to the docks, Zuto looks at you and says, "So I hope you all brought your cold weather gear for Hoth.
How cold? I came from Tatooine. I'm not good with the cold. Maybe how do we outfit for the cold? Do you have any, is there a guide? Maybe a data pad I can read up on? Is there
Well, Hoth is one of the coldest places in the galaxy that can still remain habitable. The Alliance had a base there years ago, and it was without constant heating. Even the Echo base itself was essentially a series of frozen tunnels. If you were outside after nightfall, you would be dead within hours. Only the Tauntauns and the Wampas, the entire ecosystem of the planet is built around living in an ecosystem of intricate cave networks that are the only places where anything organic can survive. It is so cold that most unprotected gear will freeze up. Servos will ice, power supplies will drain down. It's known as as a frozen hellscape.
Is there any way we can handle that, have that kind of protection for the cold? Because it seems we don't have one.
I thought that's what you were buying.
had some things to tie up, Zuto. Yeah, I kind of we didn't get paid much for that last job, and I had to settle some stuff. I didn't really gear up for this.
Well,
Why don't you buy it for us and then you can discount it from what?
There you go. We'll take an advance.
Yeah.
He looks unhappy about that. Why don't you roll me a manipulate someone, Dash? I haven't got the dice roller up yet myself. Because I never roll dice, so it doesn't occur to me as whenever I'm GMing a game. Are you rolling charm someone, Marty? If you can't get to the dice roller, I can get Rich to roll it. You're muted at the moment. Is this Minoc perhaps getting in the way of the dice roll? There we go. Oh, the 4. Okay. Well, I suppose I could send you an advance with interest. Not really how the guild's supposed to work. It's very unprofessional to ask for an upfront before a bounty. I'm sure.
We always have done the right thing. You can count on us.
Well, let's hope that trust is not misplaced. There'll be cold weather gear. I'll get the Petiga to ship you some cold weather gear. I'm sure it'll only be their best. And yeah, I think that's going to mean that was going to cost you 2 creds overall for enough cold weather gear for your whole crew. But you know what? I'm going to say that these are now loans rather than in tax. You don't get to keep the cold weather gear. You don't get to have that in your ship's supplies or anything. It's going to keep you 2 creds, and it's not going to include anything that hardens your gear. It's just going to be you lot won't freeze to death, and you are going to get some of oh man, I had a terrible thought for a second, and I was like, it could be Wookiee pelts, right? And then you could get in real. But I'm like, no, I think that's a bit too far for even for Star Wars.
Yeah. If Zuto hands me a Wookiee pelt, we're gonna have a conversation.
Exactly, yeah. What you do have are you'll recognize these, Matthias. This is Bantha.
Bantha fur.
Yeah, it still smells very much
Bantha.
like a Bantha. Yeah.
Smells like blue milk, but not as good.
Yeah. And it is going to be the tags are going to be warm and bulky. for that. You know, someone could write it down on. You can be assumed that you all have it, but yeah, these are 2 creds, and someone's going to have to pay back that 2 creds at the end of the bounty or the next bounty. He doesn't care where it comes from, but you know the way the bounties work is that you'll all get paid 5 creds if you successfully pull off this hunt. But yeah, hyperspace on the lucky hand, is that what we called it? It's on the far side. I looked in the wrong place.
The Fool's Errand.
Fool's Errand, yes, yeah. The Fool's Errand departs, and as it flies off, you see Red's Patiga on the dock, like waving you off, and you see your guildmaster just shaking his head, and the 2 of them placing the bet on whether or not you'll make it back alive. Patiga bets in your favor. The guildmaster does not.
If I knew, I would be hurt.
And yeah, hyperspace appear above Hoth. You have a landing beacon. There are 2, and as your ship comes into the atmosphere, you know, you are looking at the big ice jewel. I will draw everyone's attention to Hunt on Hoth is a separate, is now the sheet on which I've not renamed the header. On
Oh, I love the Hoth
yeah,
like visitors thing, the Hothiest destination of the galaxy. That's great.
yeah. As you enter the system closer, you can see the landing light, you know, beacon for the Republic survey team, where your what's the word for it? The people who are offering the bounty, your client, Archivist Rallis, has set up Echo Base, was quite badly damaged in the Battle of Hoth. So you would have to park your ship outside. They managed to get theirs inside the base through the hangars, but there's not really enough space for it. They basically had enough time to dig out the hangar bay and clear enough space for their ship so they could bring it in. But you're going to have to park yours sort of on the ice field outside of Echo Base.
Guys, don't worry. See, Fool's Errand, she can handle space. She can handle some snow. That's fine. We just got to make it to the base. That's I'm a little worried about. But Bantha Fur, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, as you say that, and who do we think is flying the ship?
Oh, me. I'm a great pilot.
Matthias is a
I'm
great
the best pilot.
Yeah,
I made a parsec run in like 16 seconds.
As Matthias says that, you know, and how good the ship is, it'll be fine because it can handle space. As you enter the atmosphere, red lights begin to appear on the various dashboards.
Tap it a little bit. Oh man, this thing must be twitchy again. Okay, hold on.
Very, very sluggish as ice begins to build up on the ailerons and the snow.
Oh, ice forms on the wings. That's bad. Should have read that part of the manual. Just never had to worry about it before.
And yeah, you are also greeted to go up with the comms with advertising jingle message, automated advertising message from welcome to Visionary Base, where only the galaxy's apex sentience, the alphas of galactic civilization, can truly test themselves against nature in its most wild and untamed form. Hoth, the hottest place on the galaxy. Visionary Base welcomes you. And then you get a little like list of charges. It's extremely high, and this appears to be the corporate sponsors of the Republic survey team who have set up a base here for, you know, it's supposed to be like a corporate retreat / hunting lodge / whatever. And they're located a few miles outside of Echo Base, like on the edge of the sort of the general area. You know, you wouldn't want to walk there, but it's close enough to get across. And a ping comes up and says, Eliza Home, the owner of the retreat, invites you to join her for, or com her, gives her her com details, and says that she has an interesting offer for you if you're interested. But that is when you're able to bring the ship down and land with a, slightly heavier than expected landing on the ice pack, and you feel the snow shift and crunch, and the ship sinks a good sort of like 2 or 3 feet after landing.
It's solid. It's fine. Everything's fine. There are no ice caves underneath us. We're fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
And then
You say so?
a string of lights leads you towards like the half submerged ruins of Echo Cave, and you can see a figure stood there with a taunt on, like tied to a post next to it, and he's waving you over.
Welcoming committee.
My name's Quint.
So, hi, Quint. Can you tell us about the problem you're having?
I just work here. I'm here to take you to Rallis.
Lead away.
Are you wearing bantha fur?
It's warm.
Huh. Don't let that get wet.
Why?
Well, you'll freeze quickly.
Well, the good news is that anything that would get us wet is frozen. But thank you.
It grunts.
You're the man, Quint.
And leads you deeper into Echo Base, past a small pen of tauntauns that he appears to be raising and domesticated. And Echo Base is, in ruins, but sections of it have been restored and resealed by the Republic survey team. You have ice. Shit. Sorry, it's really lightning outside. It's a proper storm going on.
If you disappear, we will think positive thoughts about you, Will.
Yeah. I thought it passed, but it's still carrying on. Relics of the battle lay everywhere. You can see where some of them have been tidied up, but very few bodies seem to be around anywhere. There are bits of stormtrooper armor here and there. But yeah, it seems pretty empty of what you'd expect. And you're brought through into a hangar where the Republic survey team's transport is grounded. You can see it's connected to the power of the base and the heaters. It's basically it's effectively grounded because it's being used as a massive power plant to fuel the survey team here. And a human comes over, wiping his hands of the ice and the snow that's packed around it. And he's holding like a bit here, and he says oh, you must be the conservationists, I heard.
If by conservationists you mean the bounty hunters who are going to take out a Wampa, then yes.
Yes. Well, don't listen. The only way I could get this through the funding board would have been to say this is part of our conservation mission, but we've been having troubles recently with the local wildlife, and my sponsor wants to wipe them all out. Now, I just want to finish our survey here, and I think that we could do things in a better way. So I've hired what I'm told are professionals to take out just one Wampa and not the entire pack. Are we clear?
We're only getting paid to take out one. So
yeah,
I'm
and
clear.
we can make it look like an accident always.
I don't think that'll be necessary. But yes, Shaco, the Wampa's sort of a myth around here. Over the years, scavengers have come to Saddlehoff, different survey teams have come to see what's available, and several of them have been lost. We have stories of survivors who've made it off world who said that their entire crew were ambushed by this huge wampa that seems to have so much blood on its hands. It's continuously stained red. It's bigger than the normal ones, more aggressive. It's not deterred by the usual sonic guards. Most of the local wampas, they stay clear of Echo Base. Now that it's been picked clean of the supplies and the vermin that occupied here. But I don't know, recently they seem to be coming back. We're getting more and more sightings, and it's dangerous, and I want you to take care of it for me.
To be clear, after we take out the wampa, you just want the wampa dead. You don't mind if we happen to keep the wampa fur. I think that would be a cool trophy for back at the guild house.
I don't care. Just need the wampa attacks to stop, and my belief is that if we get rid of Shaco, then they'll stop. My sponsors think that this is the perfect opportunity for open season on an endangered species.
Oh, well, that sounds terrible. We will just make one of the species endangered.
Yes. I think we understand each other. Well, you have the run of Echo Base. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Came well outfitted, I see. And he sort of like picks up a frozen piece of like long bantha fur, because like banthas have got that long scraggly fur, right? And so like I imagine that yours is now like all frozen in sort of like spikes out from you. It's still insulating you, but like it was not really made, they were not really made for Hoth.
Communication from the base with you when we're hunting.
Didn't catch the start of that, Marty. Sorry.
No, I was wondering if we could communicate with the base while hunting the monster.
Yes, I have a comlink. Signal can be pretty sporadic out here, particularly when the weather goes bad. But yeah, how we're in reach. In fact, I've got one of my team is out there already. Archivist Masir. She's studying the ruins of what we call the gravesite. That's where the Imperial dropped the armored transports down, and the rebels managed to destroy quite a number of them through speeders. But there's lots of wrecks out there. They've been picked over by scavengers, but there's still so much buried under the snow, and she's looking to catalog all of the loss, all the dead. Well, you can take some berths over here. We have a warm one room that's been resealed, and you see it's got warning wampers, like it's that locked door from Empire that they lure the stormtroopers in. And he pulls it open, and he says, "Don't worry, we've resealed this. I think." Yeah, there's the room is insulated. It should be fine.
Thank you.
Did you bring any form of transport with you?
I don't think we have anything that would work in this place.
No.
If you speak to Quint, he might be willing to bear some of his tauntons. He's a free agent, really. He works both for me and for my sponsors, but really he's happy to work for anybody who's got creds. I trust you have creds.
Not at the moment, but we will
Not
have.
as such, no.
Well, I'm sure you can come to some kind of arrangement. Quint's a reasonable man. He was a veteran of the Battle of Hoth. I'm not sure what side. He doesn't like to talk about it.
Oh. Interesting. He doesn't like to talk about it. He was probably Imperial. Let's be honest.
I suppose I'm not a military man myself, but many of the rebels who served here lost people. But part of our work here is to try and catalog dead from both sides.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's actually easy with the stormtroopers. They have serial numbers. But
That's
we've not found many of the bodies, I have to say.
Wampas?
It could be. They usually prefer live prey. Anyway, I must get back to my work. I really want to be honest with you, I want to try and finish up our survey as quickly as possible.
We'll do our best to make that an easy task for you.
I thank you. And you notice that there's him, there's a couple more like students, and there's apparently Quint and somebody else, but you see a bowcaster that is hanging from on a shelf nearby. Doesn't appear to have been touched, but you don't see any Wookiees around.
Whose bowcaster was this?
That belongs to our military attaché, the Republic's escort, Unga.
Unga. Oh, interesting. I've never seen a bowcaster that wasn't in the hands of a Wookiee.
I was having some difficulties in the cold. She left it for me to alter the power capacitors. And then she went for scouting out the ridges near the battleground. She was looking for something.
What do you think she's looking for?
Yeah, right. Some of my team say they've seen a ghost.
And what do you think it is?
I think the snow plays tricks on people. Or it's Shaco. And the legends are true. None of us have actually seen them, you understand, but Unga went missing, and I know Visionary Base lost, well, some of what Miss Home likes to call the help.
Okay, so we should start going if everyone is all right.
Yes. Well, I'm going to do you guys want to have a quick confab? And then I will, yeah.
We're screwed. We're so screwed.
I'd like to imagine you just about feeling the cold through the bumper fur, like slightly colder than you would like to be, while they're in their, like form-fitting, like thermal gear, kind of like going around and like, this is one of the warmest rooms in the base, as like your calf freezes to a complete block of ice next to you.
Okay. I've never hunted an animal before, team. It's not like hunting a man. I wonder how that Wookiee's doing. Maybe we could get Unga to help out.
I think you're right, Matthias. I second that idea.
Okay.
I mean, if the swamp is causing enough problems that they're calling us in, it can't be too hard to track, right? I mean, it's around. We have blasters, it doesn't. I don't know. Could end up being easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It could be.
Plus, like bloody wampa fur, that's going to be the perfect lining for my new armor. it's gonna match.
Mhm.
It's gonna be sweet.
So, okay, well, then your current plan is to head out onto the ridges of the battleground and see if you can track down Unga.
Yes, I think we're trying
Yeah.
to stay near the base so that we can like in and out if need be, or just head back if it's too much.
I guess we eventually are gonna need to figure out what was it Quint? What Quint might possibly want from us in exchange for some tauntauns. But for now, yeah, we just stick close to the base, I guess.
Yeah, the
Do
ridges,
what we can.
ridges are a little ways past. Like, it's going to be like half a day's trek out there without
Half a
transfer.
days? Oh, well, then we should start with the tauntaun thing first. Half a day. Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
You remember the movie? It's lots of huge open spaces, and people traversing it on speeders and tauntauns, and a lot of the the fortifications and stuff are all like destroyed, like the trench works and all of those things stomped through by AT-ATs. You'll be heading out into that, but it is a crisp, clear day at the moment. Frigid. So, why don't we call our first break there, and we will return. So you guys were heading to go see Quint to see if you could wrangle some tauntauns, some travel. As you come to that section of the base, you can see Quint is arguing with a droid that is built into a sort of like a one-person luxury speeder bike. And the droid is saying, "I'm afraid that Miss Holmes has ordered me to wait for a passenger." And Quint is going, your goddamn engines are spooking my beasts. You need to turn them off. And he says, "I can't turn them off. If I turn them off, then they will freeze up." And he's really losing his shit over it. You see him like about to grab a blaster.
Okay. I mean, looks like a chance to ingratiate ourselves to Quint right off the bat.
Yeah.
We
Is that
just,
what you got to watch? Yeah.
we just got to deal with some snooty droid.
And it is like labeled with like all corporate branding. You can see Visionary Pace across it. That little Hoth logo that you got on the HoloNet before you came in is there. If you would simply direct me the passenger to me, then I would be happy to leave. Goddamn droid, and then Arch.
Who's your passenger? We're something of specialists in tracking people down.
I am looking for a crew member from the Fool's Errand.
Oh,
That's us.
you got a name?
I am the driver.
No,
Miss Holmes.
well, I mean, if you have, we're trying to have a name for the one who sits in the passenger seat,
Sorry, it's hard to hear you over the top. The beasts are quite loud. Yes, the Miss Holmes asked for your chief negotiator.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'll hop in the passenger seat.
Thank you. And powers up, sending up dust and snow and everything. Quint swears some more as the tauntauns begin to howl. And then, it will speed off with Arch if he's going with them. And it will say, "Miss Holmes has invited you for a conversation about a business opportunity she thinks you would be interested in. And we'll see you heading off toward on the horizon. There is a series of geodesic domes just visible, like over because on a clear day you can see for miles on Hoth, on a crisp clear day.
Yeah, I happen to be very interested in business opportunities, so that's great.
Matthias, Quint spits on the ground. The spit instantly freezing as it hits the snow.
Seems like a waste of water.
We're not short of water around here. What do you want?
I'm gonna borrow some tauntauns.
Borrow.
We just helped you out, so maybe you could see to helping us out. We're heading after a real troublemaker around these parts.
The beast.
Shaco.
Yeah.
Roll me and manipulate someone, Rich.
Yeah, I'll do that. Remind myself of what my charm is. Hey, why did I make this a criminal scoundrel so bad at charm? He's actually good at charming. It's just that bad things happen when he's charming.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Why did they give it -1? Oh my goodness. I'm a crazy dog.
The con man, the manipulator, grifting con man who is at a -1. This explains why he has so many enemies, I think.
It's true. And oh man, that would have been a success if not for my -1 charm. That is an XP for me, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I earn XP on a miss, and that is
You
definitely
do
a
end
miss.
XP on a miss. It's probably why you're not calling for aid, right? Because you want to have that sweet XP.
I could call for aid. But Arch is already ridden off on a speeder, right?
Yeah. Dash is right nearby.
Dash could help me. A glance over at Dash, like, come on,
Totally,
man, do me a
totally.
solid.
Yeah. So that's our mutual arrangement, you know.
Okay, roll help with, I think it's charm as well.
Yeah.
Guess I could spare you some tauntauns. More meat for the beast, I guess. And he says, you can take those two. And he points towards one which is incredibly sickly looking, and one which like nearly like bites, like tries to like headbutt Quint as he comes near. And he gets that a little shock, that bats it aside with like a shock stick. And he goes, this one's fierce. Well, which one do you want? Who's taking which?
Which is the more hurt? The more hurt is mine. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the best way to split up the labor. I'll take this fine, gentle tauntaun. What's his name? I have no idea what gender this tauntaun is.
His name? I guess his name is Runt.
Come on, Runty.
And it coughs. You never heard a tauntaun cough before, but it coughs like multiple times. And when you climb up on the back of it, it sort of like stumbles a little bit.
Oh. Hey, you started to hurt my feelings here, Runt. I'm not that big.
If you could just mark on your sheet, Runt, frail, let's say.
Okay.
The tag for that. And for Dash, what should we call this one? Let's call it Blackjacks.
Okay, so hi, Black Jackson. I battle him, and then I go into the tauntaun.
Yeah, and it nearly bucks you straight off. Like
Yeah, okay.
they're not happy about this at all. And your
Whoa,
tag is,
whoa.
yeah, your tag
Okay.
is unruly.
Okay.
Well-equipped team of bounty hunters here. And Quint points up to, the ridge off in the distance and says, if you're looking for the Wookiee, they went that way. Been a few days, though. I wouldn't count on seeing anything else.
You don't think Unga made it?
With Shake, with the beast around, I don't think any of us are going to make it.
And Quint, just so I'm clear on terminology, when you say the beast, you mean Shaco, or is there a beast and a Shaco? Just checking.
Hands.
You just muted it. Well, I couldn't hear you. Which
his hands clutch on that shock stick he was using for the thing as you ask him. He goes, "There's only one beast on this planet."
Okay. Thank you.
I have this starting move with the hunt. Does it apply now?
Yeah, sure. Roll for it. Well, you finally rolled a success. By the way, you both can still mark XP for that misroll on the last one. And Dash, you should have marked XP for your misroll on the convincing to get an advance from your guildmaster. But yeah, you guys trek along. The camera pans back. We see Black Jacks like plowing forward, like full speed through the snow. Dash like being jostled around, and then like quite some distance behind, we see Runty and Matthias going like, as it goes like. Meanwhile, Arch is on the back of this speeder bike, and as you've gone, like force field has come up around the thing, and it is like warm, and like there's the faint smell of like old Iranian pines being pumped through it, and slow, like small, like soft jazz music is coming from the droid, and it takes you to this base of visionary base, series of what look like really high-tech like environment domes. They seem a lot less robust than the ruins that you saw before. They seem like almost fragile, but like they're covered in technology, and there are these like all these various cables and high-tech power supplies, and there is a whole series of them. As you come in close, you can see these boards saying, welcome hunters to the hottest place in the galaxy. And there is a like what looks like a really we're talking like not like the stuff that you saw in the prequel movies more than you saw in the original Star Wars movies in terms of like the high techness, and like really they've spent so much on the CGI budget here. There are a series of like very, very like complex thermal energy system that like a red beam goes across you as you enter the threshold, and it instantly dries and cleans your sodden wampa clothes, and you are greeted by Eliza Home, who there is a picture of whom in the character keeper. And she strides forward. She has a rifle across her back, and she looks at you and she says, "You're the bounty hunter. I take it."
Yeah, that's right.
You're the leader of your team?
I mean, I can speak for them.
Oh, I'm dealing with an underling. How disappointing. Well, I have an offer, and she starts to speak to you like you're a child. She's like, I have an offer for you to take back to your executive.
I can negotiate on behalf of the whole team.
That's very sweet. Yes, well, do come in. We're just sitting down to dinner. She leads you in, and there is a table of like maybe like let's say like 6 sort of like very well outfitted like people who are in like the highest tech, like best luxury gear that anyone could afford to be here. And they have a lot of like extremely, you see a disintegrator rifle, you know, illegal intel in like most of the New Republic. You see someone who has like a rocket powered like dart gun contraption. Somebody who appears to be using a Dathomirian like bow weapon, and they've got like elaborate Zabrak tattoos, but they don't appear to be a Zabrak. It's like some, you know, cultural appropriation. And they're all sat down drinking heavily from the Corellian brandy and the various fine things on offer. As you come in, you see waiter droids stood around. Says, yes, my team of, well, my customers, my clients are here on their corporate retreat. And my understanding is that you've been hired by Archivist Rallis to deal with the Wampa problem. Now, I'm offering you money to ensure that you do not deal with the Wampa problem and that you leave this for real hunters.
We are real hunters.
You're not there, Dash.
Trying to remember what our
I don't think we came up with a team name.
Oh no, I'm just wondering, like yeah, like our organization is it was about like client confidentiality was like the main concern, right?
Yeah, but you chose as your XP trigger.
But we're also
payment.
What's that?
You chose as your XP trigger principles over payment. You know, hearts of gold. And what she's saying is, you're this conservationist idea. The beast is Shaco. Wampas can only be predators are only dealt with by other, more powerful predators. And I have gathered here in this room the galaxy's, the top of the corporate boardroom. They'll be masters of the wilderness, I'm sure. They just need the opportunity, and I do not wish you to take that opportunity from them. Now, we'd be more than willing to hire you as helpers for our hunt.
I mean, we're hard to take Shaco out of the picture if we help flush Shaco into the open, where your superior firepower and skills can bring him down. I don't think that would be a problem. But we are tasked with removing Shaco one way or the other. We've been contracted to do it.
Yes, Shaco, and you know, everybody deserves to claim a pelt of their own. Yes. Shaco, their entire filthy pack. We're preparing for a little sojourn out later. We'll be heading out on the ridge. My probe droids have spotted what we believe is the beast's nest, and we will be heading there. You're welcome to join us. For that, I can offer your team, how should we say, 7 credits ahead for your assistance. I trust you. Your team is more prepared than you are for Hoth. I could perhaps throw in some supplies.
Oh, I'm afraid we had to travel here in haste. We didn't want to let any time go to waste, so we figured.
Yes, truly. Yes.
Grabbing what was at hand.
No way you look like a scruffy nerf herder.
I mean, I don't see why we couldn't work together.
So you will help us clean out the entire cave system.
Oh, I misunderstood. On the task of eliminating Shaco, we're aligned. What you do to the rest of the cave system after that, that would be up to you.
I think then that can be an arrangement, although I trust you will not receive your payment if you let any of my clients be injured at the cost of preserving some dumb beast's life. I know that Rallis feels quite strongly about this, but if I pay for a service, I expect that service to be done.
I guess we need more clarity on exactly what service it is you're asking of us.
Help. I want you to drive the beasts into our guns. I want you to keep it to ensure. I want you to carry any equipment that we made that the droids may not be sufficient for. Some of them are having maintenance difficulties in this weather. I must report back to my corporation that they have not prepared us sufficiently. But yes, you know, is that not, does credits not what your kind speaks?
Internally, Arch's heart is breaking because he just wants to take the deal, but there's just no way they can do all that.
We could cut away from it. You have a few hours. We'll be heading out when the sun reaches the zenith.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to like think of what his counter offer is, because yeah, flushing all of the beasts out for them, acting as their bodyguards, that's just not gonna work. But he would love.
You want some money?
I would love some money. He would love a bit of gear or whatever.
Are we seeing perhaps a battle between payment and principles?
Yeah, that's definitely happening.
Why don't we cut away from that and we could come back to you telling me how we name the arch? Is it going to be kitted out in like high-tech gear, riding a speeder bike, or is it going to be, trudging his way back through the snow? She will, in fact, pay you 1 cred simply for your time. This is a woman for who creds are not an issue. Here is something to. I understand the problem. Here. She reaches in and pulls out a stack of credits and she just, yeah, that should do. She passes you 1 credit. You can take that off the back to your executive. Clearly, I'm just dealing with the Minoc, not the Minoc grinder. No, the Ewok, not the Ewok grinder. There we go. That's a better one.
Yeah, I'll take your offer back to the crew.
Cool. We cut back to the 2 Tauntauns. Again, they bring them to a halt, with that sort of like yeehaw kind of thing as they do in the movies. Dash is one, like, is desperately trying to buck him off and throw him down the ridge. Matthias sort of goes like, and then stumbles forward and nearly comes tumbling down. But yeah, you're out on the ridges. Yeah, gonna use your incredible survival skills to try and track down Unger.
Yeah, I would like to do some incredible surviving.
Yeah, investigate the quarry.
Ooh, lovely. Investigating a quarry for me will be a sharp roll. I'm actually good at this. This is the stuff.
From your position on the ridge is here. You can see there's a great mountain range that extends like past here. But then looking back towards Echo Base, you can see like off in the distance these hulks like half shrouded in the snow, like AT-ATs and
Oh, nice.
the huge like shell of a rebel transport ship that didn't make it off Hoth, like crashed in there. And there's TIE fighter like wings and Imperial transport ships that got shot down. Like just imagine all the stuff you saw in that fight, just like in half submerged in blocks of ice, like glinting in the snow way off in the distance.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. I rolled an 8 on my investigate a quarry.
Yeah, that's a hold of 1.
A hold of 1. Where's the trail lead next?
So you come across Wookiee footprints in the snow, and they lead off and then they stop. And then you see 2 bloody smears across the snow going in different directions.
This is a bad sign. I look over at Dash. This is a bad sign. I don't think Wookiees could like subdivide.
According to the move I made, I have like this opportunity to see something that's not unusual, right? It's out of the out of the usual.
Yeah, which one is that? The one with a plan? Is that what
Yeah.
we're talking about?
Yeah, and I got a 10. Yeah.
Where you need to be prepared and ready. Not sure that applies here because you're already where you are, like yeah, you could troll your dark past, I suppose. Take a look at it and see if that can offer you anything. Or you could just investigate a mystery yourself. Investigate a quarry even. I will default to that because I run too much Monster of the Week in my real life the space.
I'll go with the dark past. I'll go with the dark past.
Okay. So roll plus tech.
So that's an 8.
Nate, you get to ask a question. When I dealt with this target or one of its kind, what did I learn? What hidden lore or tech do I know that could help here? Do I know anyone who might be behind this? Who do I know?
Yeah. What hidden lore tech I would like to ask? Since we have all these things from the battle, and maybe there's something.
Yeah. Hidden lore or tech. You know that if the Wookiee is out here and is still alive, then the best place for shelter around here is either going to be these ice caves that you've heard so much about on Hoth, or it could well be one of the wrecks around here. Like some of those things are spaceships. So if they were, depending on how badly damaged they were, they could have pressurized internal compartments that would offer protection against the damage. And one of those blood trails does head off towards an Imperial dropship that you can see off on the horizon. The other blood trail leads further into the ridges.
Should we split Matthias?
Oh man, that seems like a bad idea. I don't know about you.
Okay, so I'll follow you. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So
which one of these 2 blood trails leads towards the? Are they all around the battlefield remnants, the wrecks, the?
Yeah, there's sort of like one of them is going towards this dropship, sort of like on the very edge of this battlefield. You know, it's like a zone, and it's like kind of marks the external perimeter of like the big wreckage field where the Imperials came in against the rebel guns.
Let's take that one. I point in the direction of the one that's heading towards the big ship, thinking maybe I'm going there, or maybe that's where the Wampa is. I don't even know if we need to pay Arch. Is what I'm thinking in my head, but I don't say that out loud.
Cool. Yeah, you're making your way towards the dropship. We cut away from that. Arch, what do we see next of Arch? Is he taking the deep, or is he?
No, I think he'll just satisfy himself with one credit and accept that like there's no way he can, she's asking for everything or nothing. So there's no striking any deal with her that he can actually live with. So
I mean, you don't have much leverage over a multi-millionaire.
So now his thinking has shifted to like, how do I, maybe if like, these rich assholes can get themselves into enough trouble, I can get paid for rescuing them later. That's the backup plan. It's like maybe.
Well, they're all getting ready to head out. They're clapping each other on the back. Doing a lot of like loading and reloading their guns like for no reason whatsoever. Lots of like clicking noises and kind of things, and like all of that is completely superfluous to actually. One of them appears to have just deactivated his power cell and seems confident that it's fully on. And they are all piling into a big speeder, like luxury looking speeder. That's like open topped, kind of with a convertible sort of like rooftop that comes back. Doesn't look like it'd be very good in like any kind of extreme weather conditions. But it clearly has a little like floating like droid arm that comes in and serves some cocktails and drinks as they're heading out as well. And Miss Homer, like, well, if you change your mind, the offer remains open for as long as there are Wampas left for us to hunt. Once the hunt is over, your opportunity's gone. Enjoy the walk back. And they set off towards the horizon. That speeder, the driver, the droid that's built into the luxury speeder bike is remaining behind. But obviously it's got no orders to take you anymore. So yeah, are you walking back or are you doing anything else?
I guess I could try to radio the rest of my team, let them know what's going on, if I can get them on the comm link.
Yeah. We cut back to the two of you in the shadow of this dropship. You can see a bloody smear that's sort of like across the hatch going in. It's been blown open by it looks like a rebel missile, and then inside this dropship there's just like darkness and ice. And as you're looking at each other, you calmly, guys, echoes through the through that.
My face. Yeah, Arch. How you drinking some hot cocos? Having a good time?
I mean the accommodations in here are nice, but company's not as friendly as you might hope.
Not the hothiest place in the galaxy there?
It might be that. These guys they're heading up to hunt Wampas, pretty much any ones they can get the sights of their guns on. Might flush our quarry in the process. I don't know. So we should maybe keep an eye on them. They got all the credits in the world, so if they get themselves in a rough spot, at that point maybe they negotiate a little more reasonably. But so something to keep in mind. But yeah, how's the Tauntaun trading business going?
Better than you could have imagined.
Yeah. Well, we have. They like us. They say they like us.
Blackjack's is like staring at the back of Dash's head, and you can see it like in the background, like moving closer and closer and closer, like with a
brandish my blaster pistol and like
yeah. Meanwhile, Runty is like half collapsed on. You get off your all right, and Runty's like.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have runty burgers on.
I mean, we at some point we may need bait. So
yeah. Hey, why don't you fly that speeder over here? We're at a drop ship. We've followed Unga's trail, half of Unga's trail. Long story. And this feels much better than the outside. So see if you can catch up to us, okay, Archie?
right. I guess I'll like turn and see if like, all right, I'll just see if I can somehow talk this droid into
It was a used tech move for doing some Star Wars bullshit to technology,
I was I was gonna talk to it, not try to hotwire it or anything.
Give it a try. I think those would be two different things. I think
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to convince it that like, hey, your boss told me I'm supposed to take her offer back to the rest of my crew.
Yeah.
She's gonna, she seems impatient. She seems like she wants an answer as quickly as possible. I think you could.
You are not recognized as a customer of Visionary Base. Miss Home has ordered me to stay here for executive clients only.
Really? Because she just told me that I'm supposed to take her offer back to my crew as quickly as possible. You would be the quickest way. So it seems like she was ordering me to have you give me a ride.
Miss Holmes files no such order.
She told me. So I'm not telling you that she said that I'm supposed to take her offer to my crew.
Moment. I will seek verification from Miss Holmes. Unit hologram of her comes in the ship. What is it, droid? We're nearly at the target site. It relays that. And she goes, "No, tell the scruffy nerf herder he can have the corporate experience when he signs up to work for us. No sooner, no later." And we will cut away, I think, there as Arch looks the different droid. These are not droids that are like have a lot of personality, What you do notice though is as you look around is that there are maintenance unit droids that are coming out from like little shelters that are built around to maintain the high-tech thing, and a bunch of them are like barely moving in the cold. Like they appear to be frozen up. They don't appear to be working under optimal conditions here as they were designed in the the prototype stage. They were supposed to be really good for Hoth, but apparently, these are like the Star Wars equivalent of the Cybertruck. Not working well in the field. We cut back to Dash and Matthias, who's going in first.
I'm going in first. He's good at advising. I'm the doer. It's fine. Everything's fine here.
Yeah, you enter into this. It's like on its side, so everything is like, the wrong way around, and you're gonna have to in. It's not quite tall enough for you to stand up in there. You come through to like a interior like cargo bay that's slightly bigger. It looks like this was where the Imperials like kept like a small walker, like those little individual walkers that are like ATSTs, the light ones from Battlefront. They had a bunch of those.
Oh, wait, are we talking about like the personal, like from Old Republic or like Clone Wars area where you can, oh my God.
Yeah. There's some of them lying
Matthias
around.
lets out a little
and that
squeal of
trail-
excitement, I think there.
and that blood trail goes deeper in across. And yeah, you get in there and you find Unger. The Wookiee is missing an arm. And appears to be very, very, very barely alive.
Hey, buddy.
How you do? You're not doing very well, but what happened?
Shaco.
Where is he?
And you hear a on the outside of the dropship's hull.
I am heading for one of those personal ATs to see if I can get it up and running because we just might need it.
Yeah. There's a sound of wrenching metal behind you, Dash, as Matthias goes running over to one of the thing. The Wookiee slumps, clutching onto a heater pack that it's got there. And there's a wrenching noise, and an external hatch on the roof opens up, and something big blocks out all the daylight that comes in there. What do you do? It's big and it drops down on your shoulders and rides you like the bantha, like the tauntaun you are, I guess, apparently.
No. Wait, who are you asking? Because so who's that question?
I'm asking
Okay,
Dash.
I thought it was to Dash.
Yeah.
I'm gonna act under pressure. I'm gonna act under pressure.
Hmm?
I'm gonna stay calm and act under pressure.
Yeah. As this huge clawed arm like lunges through the thing and reaches for you, try and dodge out of the way with an act under pressure. Go for it. Roll act under pressure. It's a 7. Okay. You barely manage to lunge back, and it just scrapes across out of your wampa fur. You're gonna take 1 harm from that, but you're not gonna take the full thing. As it starts swiping around in there, and it growls.
Matthias, need some help in here.
Yep, working on it.
Want to roll me a use tech, Rich?
I do. I can't wait for this because I have a -1 in use tech. What was I even thinking when I made this character? This is great.
Every roll I asked you to do, -1.
Okay, here we go. Using tech on an ATRT to try to get it up and running. Oh, hey, that would have been an 8, but I made it a 7 with my poor tech, but that is a success.
Okay. So you
choose an effect and a glitch. Yeah. I am going to...
I think it says do one thing that is beyond humanoid limitations. I think you've got a temporary use of an armored vehicle that you can use to kick open the cargo bay door.
Like, that sounds fun.
Yeah, you know, like fire it out. What's the glitch?
I think it draws immediate unwelcome attention because it seems like that's already happening. So I'll just take it.
Yeah. Okay. You sparks come out from it. The RT legs spasm and twitch and like kick a huge dent in the inside wall, and then the next one kicks out like the cargo bay door, and this load of snow comes out. And as daylight streams in, you see not 1 but 2 wampa shapes emerge from the snow.
I'll try to read a bad situation because clearly we're in a bad situation. Yeah.
Right, a bad situation. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow, the ATRTs, they had them in the Star Wars Legion game, so they have some minis of them. They look amazing.
I always love getting them in Battlefront. But that's a 7. Read about situation. You get to ask one question. Oh, and we forgot your team move when you rolled investigate a quarry before. Your team move is you can ask an additional question about local cultural history, Rich.
Oh, wow. I will
Yeah.
remember that for next time. Thank you for that.
So Dash, your read about situation, best way in, best way out, any dangers we haven't noticed, the biggest threat, what's most vulnerable to me, the best way to protect the victims.
What might complicate things?
That's not one of the questions.
Yeah, no?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed, I guess? No, you've
Oh,
noticed.
sorry. I read about situation. What's most vulnerable to me, or what's the best way to protect the victims? Us.
Well, also Unga, who is barely alive. The best way to protect Unga is to drive off these Wampus somehow. Like, is to do something that will spook them away, you know? They are pretty big, pretty tough. You remember a big talk about having blasters and they're not having blasters? It turns out that they're quite big. Your blaster suddenly seems quite small. But they are animals. If you could do something to, you know, like shock them, scare them, any sort of thing that would work. Currently, you've got a good way out back to your Tauntauns. They don't appear. You can hear. In fact, you can see another Wampa that appears to have been knocked out by Blackjack's headbutt outside as Blackjack stands in front of Runty, guarding the other Tauntaun. But yeah, if you could do something that would distract, you know, like basically like drive them off briefly, then you could make a breakthrough with Unga over the back of probably Blackjack's, to be fair. Runty's doesn't look like they're up to carrying 2 people. You are in a dropship that appears to have some level of power in some of its systems still. But yeah, you get a +1 if you do anything that does that. But those Wampas begin to advance.
Is there anything we can blast near so we can scare them?
Yeah, there's a fire suppressant system in here. It's not gone off. It would fill the entire dropship with smoke, basically. You know, it'd be like smoke bomb, essentially, and set off a bunch of alarms.
I point to the fire and I said, Matthias, that's yours.
Okay.
Okay. I think this is an act under pressure.
Sure. I think if I've got enough control of this ATRT, I'm going to try to aim the guns to take out this fire suppressant system. And
yeah, I think the problem is because the ATRT is like kind of on its side, like in here, right? That like you're trying to bring it to bear on these Wampas as they come through, but like that would involve like shooting between the legs of the ATRT, and the articulation doesn't go that far down, right?
Oh man, it's not fully articulated. Dang it. The back of the box lied. Okay. Then if I can't bring the ATRT to bear, then I'll aim where Dash is. And if I can't even do that, then I'll quick whip out my own blaster and fire at the fire suppressant. But act under pressure, you say?
You can use the ATRT's guns to shoot the fire suppressant. They're just not
okay. Cool. Cool is what I'll be rolling, and this is a thing I don't suck at. Oh, thank goodness, because I rolled a 5 +2 gets me a 7.
Cool. Yeah. It explodes. You're going to take a harm from the ricochets that rip around the room, but it explodes, and you hear the Wampas like let out a howl, and those black shapes in the that get lost in the smoke and mist. Like you hear them like the howling distance getting away from you, and you got enough time to grab hold of like haul Unger out and get them back on. But all around you, you think you know you don't see the Wampas. You remember that they are completely white. You're surrounded by snow. How far did they go? Really?
Well, I know we need to act fast, so this will be a quick look. Do I have any hope I could think of to try to get this ATRT up and moving?
Give me another action to pressure.
Sure.
As Dash is pulling Unger out, putting them on the back of Blackjack. Blackjack, who is like snapping away, and then Unger briefly just like grabs hold of its head and like goes howls Wookiee like full strength, and then passes out across in its face, carrying Blackjack's for a second.
Are you sure? Is your stat? Are your stats a little? I guess they're. I'm just a little surprised you only have 1+1. That's fine. I'll figure it out later. I was just noticing Dash only has 1+1, but it maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it is an 11. I act very well under this pressure, specifically this one pressure.
Dash has 2+1s.
I'm sorry, I meant plus. Oh, okay, he only has one stat array where you have 2+2s, and they're pretty rough. Everything else totally makes sense now. Got it. I was just checking the stat arrays, and I thought I want to make sure that Marty didn't get shorted, and we're good. So
the min-max option, Rich.
2 -1s and 2+2s, and the min-max option. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I get maximum XP and maximum success when I need it. That's what matters.
Do you get that success though?
I did. I got an 11 this time.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So basically, Dash, you haul on the back of that of your Tauntaun. You got Runt's tether like in one hand, as Blackjack's like books, and you're setting off. And you're like, "Where's Matthias?" And then it comes like it's sort of like one leg comes out, and it sort of like pushes against the side of the hull, and the side of the hull like tears open, and then the other leg like awkwardly chicken, sort of like a drunken chicken, kind of comes stumbling out of the back of the hatch, and like starts to step after you. And you have an ATRT, which I'm going to say while you're in it, you've got 1 armor.
Awesome.
Yeah. And you guys making a retreat back to Echo Base?
Sure. Yeah, heading back to Echo Base. So we have Unga. We were able to pull Blackjack and Runt along with us.
Yeah,
and now we have an ATRT that is in middling shape, and it gives me 1 armor.
The power. You tap the power levels, and they go from 100% down to 5%, and then back up to 100%.
You show them, Matthias. You show them.
Arch. We cut back to Arch, who's schlepping back to Echo Base, or
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as the other two, do their hasty retreat back across the ridge, the camera pans out, and we just see this solitary figure coming back in. And then we will cut as you guys are coming back in through the Echo Base hangar, like bay doors. And Quint's Tauntauns are like, and the sun's going down on the horizon by the time you guys get back, right? And he looks at you three, and he's goes like, "Good job, you found her. Storm's coming in." And we will cut there for our last break. Cool. So you guys are back at Echo Base as a blizzard rolls its way in. And Rallis looks worried as he comes over to you and takes Unger into the med bay, which they've restored. You may remember it from, where a certain Skywalker is brought in very similar conditions. And yeah, there is, the med droid is long gone, riddled with blaster bolts, still in pieces across the floor in the back, but they managed to get one of the Bacta tanks up, resealed, and put new power to it. And the survey team brought a little Bacta of their own, so they've got just enough to put Unger in there. And Rallis goes, "Thank God, Thank God that you got her back. I never, to be honest, I thought that she was dead.
Well, that's our job, to bring up back the dead.
Yes. Did you see Shaco out there?
We saw some wampas, a pair of them.
Shaco's, they're usually solitary predators, but I didn't believe the stories. But people say when Shaco's active, the other wampas don't act in ways they usually do. It's almost like, I don't know, that you can drive them into this behavior. But with the blizzard out there, I don't know how we're sort of locked down in here. I couldn't get in touch with Messier out on the ice. She's cut off from the rest of us. And we had a message from Visionary Base there. They said their hunt was successful and they're coming back. But I'm dubious.
What do you think, Arsh? You saw those hunters, right? Isn't that what you told us?
Yeah, I mean, you got some fancy equipment, so that might have carried the day for him. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen a wampa, so
But do you think they're
how hard would it be for them to take some of the regular ones out?
pretty much, but they have good equipment, you say? What do you think? What do you think of these guys?
I mean, like I said, they're more fancy equipment than anything else, but I mean, they're geared out pretty good.
I radioed them to ask if they could check in on Messier, but Holmes just told me that that wasn't her problem.
That sounds like her.
There's a squawk on the comms. All of your comms go off. Everyone's in the room, and Rallis punches it up on the main display on the data pad, and you see Holmes, a little hologram of Holmes, going, "Did that nerf herder come back here and try and scavenge our base? You've destroyed everything."
You talking about me?
Yes. You came back and you tore open the domes. That's very expensive property.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All of our shelters gone.
You think I had time to walk back here and do all that?
You walked back? I assumed you'd stolen a droid.
I'm not a thief. I'm a bounty hunter.
Very little difference.
I don't think that was us, Holmes. I think that was Shaco, the beast.
They're just dumb beasts. They don't know what this is. They'd be too frightened of the subsonic buffers that I placed. It's proven technology.
Maybe, but I bet Shaco's a clever girl.
And you hear, like, you know, when someone's speaking to a hologram, like off the hologram's like point of view, like muffled sort of thing, and she turns over her shoulder and goes, "Not now, Mr. Bozes. We're too busy dealing. I'm just gonna call. Oh God!" And then it hoofs out as you hear a blaster bolt fire coming over the comms, and a roar. Well,
I guess I should have stayed out there. It seems like that's where all the action's going down.
I don't know what to do. Rallis says that Missier's out there still. I should go and Would you go out there with me?
We have an AT&T, right?
That's an ATRT. It's a recon vehicle. It's quite
A
fascinating.
one-person job.
It worked
Yeah.
out. Interesting. And it still functions.
Mostly.
Spark at the back of it. Yeah. Well,
I mean, we don't have anything that can. We can't go out in this blizzard, right?
it's that I'll wait till morning. I don't know what to do. Unger's in a bad way. Quint, I think Quint's having some sort of traumatic flashback. He says that the beast killed everyone in his squad when he was there last. And so my team says that they've seen the ghost. I think everyone's losing their minds. I don't know what to do. I can't leave Masir out there. I can't leave my team either. You muted yourself, Rich.
We're here to take out Shaco. And I think this is part of the hunt.
You'll go out there then.
Do you have any techs that maybe could take a look at this ATRT once we fix everything up?
Yes, I think he points over at a Twi'lek. Denise, you specialized in military transports, yes? Well, this is an older model, sir, but I guess it checks out. I can take a look, yeah. I think I can make sure this power loss doesn't affect it's not going to hold, but it should be fine for the next few hours.
Good enough for the hunt. Thank you.
Masir is, and he pulls open his data pad and he shows you little hologram outlay of the battlefield and the various hulks that have been tagged and cleared and everything. He says Masir says that this one, he points at it. He was using this one as a base. Says that it still had power, still was sealed. It said it was. She said it was a waste of time to come back to Echo Base with the supplies out there. But with the blizzard and Shaco, I think it's time to leave.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, did make a custom move for Hunt on Hoth, which you can find at the very right-hand side of the sheet, which is cold enough to freeze your servos. Everything is unreliable. All of your tech is unreliable. That includes your blasters. Everything is unreliable unless it was specially hardened against the cold. But the other one is when you face the extreme conditions of Hoth, take -1 if you are not suitably equipped. This is what you would have faced if you hadn't taken your advance payment and traded it in for that. Take -1 if you are injured. Some of you are injured.
Where is this custom move? I'm sorry, I'm looking on all the tabs.
Column H on Hunt on Hoth. To the right of the NPC.
Oh, where it says custom moves. I just didn't go up high enough. I see it now. Awesome.
Take +1 if you have a guide. You don't have a guide. Take +1 if it's daylight. So currently you're rolling with a -1. It's almost like it's not a good place to be.
It seems like the odds are stacked against us for some weird reason. I'm surprised.
You could just hold up here and wait for morning and begin your hunt again.
Seems too sensible for us.
I mean, I'm saying you may be hitting that House of Gold trigger twice this session if you go out there, right?
True. We are really after the XP trigger.
Yeah. You could try and convince Quint to come out there with you.
Hey, he's having some PTSD, isn't he?
He is, but I'm sure a smooth talker could talk him around. If only there was one of you there.
This charming man.
This is his chance to get one of his men out, right?
Yeah. So
Yes.
is Dash going to try and talk Quint?
Yes.
Still listen his time is across the galaxy.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
Quint is with the Tauntauns, and they're all like sealed inside like a cargo bay in there, and they're like hoofing and thinking he's loading like he's stripping and refitting a blaster rifle over and over again, and you can see this huge knife like buried in the snow in the ice next to him, and he's like smeared like white snow paint across both sides of his cheek, and he's like, "It's coming. The beast is coming. It's coming again. It'll get inside the here, just like it did last time. It'll tear everyone limb from limb, all of us. Maybe I should put the Tauntauns out of their misery. Maybe I should. Brunty's nearly dead.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it because our mission is with you. Tonight or today, it ends, my friend.
But it'll kill us all. It'll kill you.
No. We'll kill him. And what do I roll?
Roll persuade someone, manipulate someone. Not going well for Dash's manipulate someone, Rosa. This charming man is you want to call for aid and see if someone can bump that up? Arch, Matthias.
Looking to see who actually has charm of any note.
Yeah, I would definitely would jump in to try to help.
You're so charming.
The trainee is far more charming than the conman. Okay. You're going to say that speech again? You know, we're going to do it for your men. Like this time you're with us, we're going to take them down. Like never leave a man behind, that kind of thing.
I mean, I'm trying to find the name of it's how's the name pronounced of who we're trying to get? It's
Monsieur.
Monsieur.
Yeah, she's one of those, you know, like the big conical head aliens, the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's one of those basically who are extremely clever, but apparently not very wise at D&D stats.
Yeah, I'll just say I think Monsieur's out there. If we can just get to her and get her back.
Roll call for aid with your charm.
No.
I was like, she's as good as dead already. And so are all of you. I'm the only one who makes it out of here. Okay. So I think you tried your hardest to get on board, but he's not flying for it. So that's a -1 on the roll. Who's going to make the roll? Rich, would you like to make the roll in your ATRT?
So this is
and the ATRT is like leading the way with like spotlights through the blizzards, you know, like panning out.
Oh, it's
and
awesome.
trotting behind them is Runty. Well, behind that is Blackjacks. You know, like plowing at full speed behind, and Runty sort of like stumbling in the back with Arch now on his back instead.
And we're rolling with a -1 because we did not get ourselves a guide. Okay, here we go. I rolled an 8. -1 is a 7. Wow. On a 7 to 9, you take harm or your gear does. MC choice.
Well, if you're going to take 1 harm as the cold of this blizzard begins to bite through your bantha fur, which is now like resembling more like it's like still like a slightly supple layer of like fur on the under as it touches your body heat, and then every layer of it after that is just becoming increasingly solid with the packed ice. and everything, right? Every time you move, there's just big sheets of like coming off. It just seems to come straight back on there as you go through. You look like sort of snowmen ambling along across the ice. But you make it through to the AT-AT through the darkness. Your AT-AT's spotlights pan across this like slumped wreck, you know, and it's got those the legs tied up from where the speeders tied it up with the harpoon guns, and it's like keel hauled straight down. And you can see like light still flickering around the cockpit area, but the hatch looks as though it's been torn open by massive claws. And as you step inside, there is no sign of Messier visible, but there are tracks around. Now, you also, who I think maybe Matthias is actually probably still outside, right, in the AT-RT with the guns. Like,
I'm covering them with the guns right now. I'll come in, but maybe I was scout earlier. Maybe it's Dash's turn.
Yeah.
I'll try to read a bad situation.
Yeah, read a bad situation. Hey, 12. See the highs or lows with Dash today. So yeah, on a 12, you get 2 holds on the investigate quarry move. What is being concealed here? What happened here? Where does the trail lead next? You're muted still, Marty.
What happened here first?
It looks like a Wampa of incredible strength tore its way in here. You can see blaster bolts of scattered, you know, marking the side of the hull. There's like a spray pattern. It looks as though some of them were intercepted by something. So whatever came in here was wounded by Messier before. But it looks as though there's not enough blood on the ground to be like to have killed a adult humanoid. It looks like she was injured, and you can see the broken remains of the blaster pistol, and there are drag marks. It looks as though she's been taken out. And because this is an investigate a mystery in your team move, it means you get an extra bit of information about the local history or culture of this planet. One thing that you will know, I'll give you for free rather than asking you to ask the question, because you know it's a survivalness thing, is that Wampas sometimes take back injured prey and hang them as food for cold snaps, much like we saw happen to one General Skywalker. Or was he a commander at that point? I can't remember. I think he was Commander Skywalker. General Solo and Commander Skywalker, which you would think the guy who blew the Death Star would have a better rank than the guy who tried to rip off the rebellion. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So yeah, she's probably still alive. You got one more question?
Yeah. What's the clue that will?
Where does the trail lead next? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see on a data pad that's out like on the side of this like knocked over like supply crate, that she's got like beacons set up mapping out like each of the places that she'd surveyed, and one of those beacons appears to be moving deeper below the surface of the ice. It appears to be heading back to under the ice caves. It looks as though she managed to grab one of those beacons, turn it on, and so she's effectively got a tracer on her right now. And it is leading deeper into the ice caves. The ice caves that some say connect straight up with Echo Base. So you have to go into the
Okay.
caves to find it. I'm just going to cut outside to Matthias. Matthias,
Mm-hmm.
I think you see something white in the snow. Some moving.
I'll spin around and wipe at my goggles, peer. Hey,
Definitely.
guys, something's moving out here.
Do you want to read a bad situation?
I
Yeah.
do very much want to read a bad situation.
Yeah, it's a blizzard. Isn't everything moving out there?
That's one demerit there, Arch.
Put it on my tab.
Okay, just had to check my sharp, which is not terrible. Oh, I see clearly now that the snow is gone or something. I've rolled a 12. I will hold 3. What are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
That looks like an Imperial snow trooper. And they've climbed on top of the wreck, and they're like, they look like they're trying to hide from you from behind the AT-AT wreck.
What's most vulnerable to me?
If you were to move the AT-RT just around to the head of the AT-AT, you'd have cut them off. So they're like pinned. They're currently pinned between the ridge and the bulk of the AT-AT. So if you just move slightly, then they wouldn't be able to get anywhere without going through your field of fire.
Okay. And then what's the best way to protect my team, which I'm considering the victims right now?
I mean, this is a humanoid figure. Talking to them might be better than blowing them up at first sight, twitchy as you might be.
I'm
Less
going to
through the heavy blasters on the AT-RT.
Ooh. I'm gonna move around to cut him off, the snow trooper. In his super dope armor. Like probably my favorite of all the troopers. There's something just sleek about him. So I'll try to move around. I'll say, hey, what are you doing out here?
They drop this, like, it looks like they're carrying like a grenade launcher, and they drop it on the ground, and they shout something at you, but you can't hear it through the armor. And then they shout it again, and then they stomp their foot, and they lift off their helmet, and beneath it is a very like grizzled looking Deveronian. Who says, "No shoot, no shoot. I just came to my home. This is my home.
You live in there?
I did until she came. And she drew the beast like I knew she would. I hid, but I came back to save her, but she's gone.
Gone dead or gone?
As good as. Nothing comes back from Shaco's cave.
Do you know where Shaco's cave is?
I can. Yes, I do. We should. Do you have a ship? We should go. We should leave.
We will after we take out Shaco. Show me where the cave is. Hey, good news. Dash, Arch. We've got a contact here. Deveronian, a local. It looks like maybe Holmes drove him out of his place. He lives there, and Shaco took Holmes back to its cave. So we just
Messier to the cave.
Oh, Messier. Yeah, Shaco took Messier.
Yeah.
Holmes?
Just because none of you followed up on that lead that she was.
Sorry. Messier. I got mixed up there. Apologies.
Whenever an NPC is not on screen, they always get forgotten about by the one who was on screen. So, yeah. But yeah. And he's like, I can take you there if you promise. And he looks at the AT-AT. With this, you might be able to stop it. Maybe.
I promise I'll use this to stop Shaco. I've got friends too, or a whole team. We're actually pretty famous, just not here on Hoth.
Everyone on Hoth dies. Only I survive. Only Ron survives.
Actually, there's a guy named Quint you should talk to. You guys have a lot in common.
Quint's alive?
Mm-hmm.
He starts swearing.
Oh, I don't like the guy. Guys, come on, let's go. Let's go find Shaco.
Yeah. So just in the interest of time, I'm just gonna have you roll that one, but now you get a 0 because you have a guide.
We do have a guide. Does anyone else want to roll this nefarious and terrifying move, or shall I?
I'm not in luck like lately, but so I guess.
Go for a Rich.
Okay, here we go.
With Mark, it would be a 12 or a 4, I think.
A 10!
Hey,
Oh
perfect.
my goodness, I'm so sorry that I'm facing your custom move that's so cool and scary.
Great. Yeah, I never get to the ice planet takes a chewed you and the odds got worse, which I think on off could have a lot of interesting things. You fall through into the ice caves, that kind of thing. But yeah, you come to, he leads you into, and this is a hole that was punched through by a TIE bomber that crashed through and its entire payload went off, blowing like this huge tunnel that goes down deep into the earth, big enough for you to walk the ATRT through, of course. It's going to get cramped as you go further in. Like you'll have to hunker down beneath the stalagmites, and get your way through. But you come through into, and there's actually like it gets warmer as you go in through the ice caves. Like there's like not warm, but there's like ice grass, like this is what the Tauntauns survive on. Like when there's no humans around to feed them. This is what the entire ecosystem with Hoth is sort of based around. Is these pockets of flora and things that grow within the ice caves as they are insulated from the horrible temperatures above. You are quite deep down now, and that tracker that you got on the holopad is showing you that you're coming underneath where Echo Base is, and deeper down. And the smell, there's some strong smell in the air, and you can almost feel the presence of things moving in the tunnels around you, labyrinthine around. Runto stops you a few times, the ghost, and tells you to be quiet. And he stares viciously at the ATRT as it doesn't really stay as quiet as the rest of you, as it hisses and whines and stuff. But yeah, you get your way through. And there's this big open cavern with these huge stalactites and dangling like feet embedded in the ice. There is an unconscious Serenian woman with a long gouge across her face and her shoulder, and her eyes fluttering. What do you do, Arch?
I mean, we gotta melt her out of that. How do we?
You rush over and start hacking away with
Yeah, I guess just
yeah, you can have like basic tools. Vibro knife would cost you more, but you can always have like some sort of simple like blade or something.
just a little hammer or something. Just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You begin hacking away. As you begin hacking away,
Oh, good.
The snow, like the ice around like where your feet are, like suddenly gives way, and you tumble down as this hand punches through and grabs hold of your leg, rips you down into like a tunnel that's running just beneath this bit, and you come face to face for the first time with Shaco, covered in blood. You can see like blaster burns across its chest, and then as it howls in its teeth, you see like what looks like it's like red leather with like, is that a Zabrak tattoo like embedded on there? Is that? Yeah, it looks like this Shaco had his way with the hunting party before returning to prey on Messiah. And he's wounded though, and he's pissed. And yeah, Arch goes down. what do you do? Anyone do anything? Anyone roll protect someone? Or Dash, you have got your hold. Be well prepared. Man with a plan. That would be a perfect time to spend it, right? So you
Yep.
spend, and you were ready for something to happen here, you know, like you were scanning around and you went like, wait, just before Arch, one step too far. So you're springing forward as I think Matthias is bringing that ATRT carefully around like the cramped tunnels and, you know, just lagging behind slightly because he's in a big vehicle versus the two of you. And the ghost is hiding behind the ATRT. So yeah, what are you going to roll here? You're in the perfect place. You're prepared.
Yeah. Can the ATR kill the ghost with a big splash?
I mean, they can do, but right now Arch is about to get his head separated from his neck. As Shaco has grabbed hold of his leg and is tossing him around like a rag doll.
Okay, okay, so gonna save him with what?
Protect someone would be the move. When you prevent harm to another character, roll plus tough.
Let's hope it's one of the good ones. Lots of pressure. I got -1. Oh shit. Okay, so that's a 10. Yeah.
Sweet. So you protect them from harm. What does that look like, do you think? As you protect them, you get to choose an extra. You can suffer little harm. All impending danger is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
No, I inflict harm on the enemy.
Okay, cool. So that's a flurry of blaster bolts, I guess. Like just as it's about to reach that hand, as Arch is like on the ground, like wind knocked out of him, about to get his head like crushed by, and then there's a toot, 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 and it staggers back. Shaco's fur is quite tough, so it seems to absorb a lot of your. You just got a blaster rifle, right? I think. Yeah, absorb some of that. Deals 3 harm, I believe. 2 harm. Does the gear blaster shat? No, you have a shatter gun. 3 harm, messy, loud, close, loud, glitchy. Well, it's glitchy. So yeah, it fires and it bangs into Shaco, staggering him back. And then your power supply goes.
So I got one more hole, right?
You do have one more time. Yeah, you could spend that and immediately slap back in another power pack, like as we to move to another player. So your gun is going to still be active for this.
Okay,
this
I'm gonna spend it like that. Yeah.
Cool. Arch, you've been gathered a moment's break. It's Shaco's towering above you. This thing is big. What's the plan? Oh, what's not what's the plan? What are you gonna do in this moment? You've got a moment's breath. You like as it tore you away, like you were holding on to Messier, and it actually like dislodged her mostly from the ice, so she sort of like sprawled on the ground. A ghost is, you know, the ghost is like free and moving, but like he's holding his blaster pistol, like it's shaking in one hand, like he can't bring himself to actually fire straight. But yeah, you know, what do you want to happen here? Do you want to try and get her safe? Do you want to order him ghost to help out and you to, or do you want to like, you know, rush headlong into danger and
I mean, I want to do all of those things.
what could go wrong?
I mean, I think what
Literally a move.
I'm not going to run over to her because she's not any safer with me next to her than she is right now. I mean, so I think I want to get its attention and just I want to keep it moving away from her, and then just hope. I'm hoping all my friends are going to come take this thing out. If I could just keep it distracted.
You can see the spotlights of the ATRT, and you can hear a clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yeah, it's coming. So
a big stalagmite that's in the way, like trying to break through, so you can get the bulk of the ATRT through the narrow entrances cavern. He's seconds away, so you're going to act under pressure to try and lure it away. And
yeah, I just want to keep it keep it distracted and hope that it's still in one piece. But by the end of the
okay. I think that is an act under pressure. I think that is hedging your bets, so it doesn't count as a what could go wrong. You know.
Okay.
And I want to remind you that when you're in a fight, you can help someone with a plus cool automatically as a 10 plus. So just to keep in mind.
Yep. Okay, so that's a 7.
Yeah. You dodge out of the way as Shaco's like huge paw comes and destroys like another huge bit of ice. You scramble out of that little pit that you're in there. You roll up as it launches itself up on all fours behind you and then begins prowling towards you. Dash is slamming that new power pack in, and you scramble and you run, and you're just up towards ATRT. The spotlights the ATRT as it comes ducking underneath this thing, and it stumbles up, and you're like caught in the spotlights. And as you come skidding to a halt, Shaco like manages to clip you like across the back and sends you like fucking flying across the room, you know, like full on like over end spinning in the air, full on scorpion as you land. And you're going to take you're going to take 4 harm, but your armor is going to count for that. Shaco hits rough when he hits.
I'd like to ask if Arch just charged into danger without hedging his bets and triggered what could go wrong with this foolish action.
You know what? I did say no, but I'll allow it. I actually think that I was unfair. You can take the 2 hold there. So now you have 2 hold. You may spend your hold to inflict +1 harm, reduce someone's harm suffered by 1, or take +2 forward on an act under pressure roll. Which I don't think you could take on that roll, but a subsequent roll.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll spend 1 hold just to reduce that harm, I guess.
Cool.
By 1.
Hey, sorry, I so you'd already ruled and I asked for it again. I apologize.
That's okay. I mean, you know, it was one of those ones I wasn't feeling particularly strongly about when I said it. Yeah, so yeah, you cough against the wall, right? Rich, it howls, caught in your spotlights, and it howls. Yeah. Roll, kick some ass.
Oh, I certainly shall. Oh gosh. Sweet.
I mean, you must be great at stuff, right? Like, gotta be good at something.
No, I'm flat at tough. I'm cool and sharp. I'm cool and sharp. That's all I am. Oh no! Poor little ATRT, you failed on me. I'd like to call for aid. Call for aid.
You line up the shot.
Yeah.
Press the fire button, and there's a noise, and the ATRT lights begin to flicker. Dash.
Yeah, I am.
Call for aid. Yeah.
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 Maybe more like distracting fire with your newly recharged.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to point at the hunt.
Oh, the hunt, the Shaco. Yeah. So that is
Shaco. Yeah.
Call for aid, and that sounds like a plus tough roll for call for aid. Call for aid. So that's roll -1.
Yeah. Okay, not so bad.
7. Okay.
Barely there, barely there.
Your shotgun blasts into Shaco. It stumbles back, but buying some time. I just like punches buttons and everything on the panel, trying to get it back up, and you can see it going like resetting, like 1%, 2%, 3%. But as you're like laying down fire, and then Shaco like reaches out, rips off like a huge chunk of ice from the thing, and then just flings it at you. And you're going to take 2 harm as that explodes, like crushing straight into you. And it turns, and yeah, it's then right on top of you, Rich. Like, and it's like right up against the ATRT, and its claws dig into Matthias's shoulders, and you're going to take 2 harm as well. But that's just when the green light appears on the button. Your fingers clenched, start to get ripped out of the seat of the ATRT. You've got your finger on the trigger, and you can.
Yes. Holding onto the joystick and screaming at my terrible, terrible fate, and praying to the force or something. Do I need to roll to kick some ass?
No, this was the call for aid that boosted your kick some ass.
Okay, sweet. Okay.
Harm, so
boosted me to 7. Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a huge the roof of this cabin like catches like one of the like it begins to shake as the huge cannon fire like destroys one of the support holding stalagmite combination, and it pins down, burying Matthias and Shaco in the snow. And as it all goes dark, and as we come back from the advert break, right, we see Matthias like looking dead, and then Runt's tongue licking the side of his face, the Taunton, and it comes back. The camera like pulls away, and we see your ATRT like buried under the snow. But Shaco appears to have been completely bisected by your heavy blaster fire, and his claws are still clutched around your shoulder, and the ghost is trying to pry it open with a knife, like to try and get it off you. But you survived.
Try not to break the ATRT any worse.
And I think that the last shot we'll see of this episode is of like a makeshift sledge being made with like the ATRT like stumbling, like one leg, another leg, like barely walking, probably with Matthias like bandaged piloting it, Black Jack's pulling the ATRT, like providing it support, like looking strong still, and Runt just trotting along, happy as can be. And yeah, the rest, and then Shaco's like head just on the back of Runt with Ghost holding it, the Ghost holding it there. And yeah, we cut away, and everyone can take 5 credits.
Well, we owe 2 credits to Zuto.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to put that as the team pool is currently at a -2.
I'm gonna pay for the 2 credits.
Oh,
It was my fault.
Yeah, it was a dice fault, but yeah. So yeah, and I think that you all put principles above payment multiple times, so that's 2 team XP for this, because you never succumb to doing the profitable thing, or leaving people, because not going out there in the cold and the dark is more profitable than going out in the cold and the dark, because you've all taken quite a bunch of harm, and you are probably going to have to spend some money to heal that harm next session, or start off with a smaller track. So that is that. Your ATRT, you can put that in your gear or note it down somewhere, Rich. Your ATRT is going to take quite a bit of repairs here. You have the chassis, it's not going to cost you as much as it would do to do the whole thing, but it's going to need a full like electronics refit to function properly after this. I mean, how much do we think is fair for repairing an ATRT? I'm thinking maybe like 6 creds.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
You know what?
I could
It's
buy a
5,
whole ship for that.
5 creds for a team asset. I think an
Goodbye,
ATRT
mom.
team.
Goodbye, mom.
Yeah, bye, mum. You know, like
Nah, that's good though. That's good. I get it. Team asset. Yeah, I'm into it. I noted that down on the bounty hunter side. By the way, I forgot that I have this cool grifter thing. I should have asked you a question. I'm just saying this out loud, hopefully, so it'll lock in my head. When I manipulate somebody, I can ask you what will convince this person to do what I want. So
That is
I
a great
missed
one.
it, but I'm trying to remind myself of that.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will call it there, guys, I think. And I will have more bounties prepared for you next time. We will start off with the downtime period on the rock. If you want to wave goodbye to the internet.